everybody? Welcome to the Part of the Noob Show. I'm Jay Gotti. The man directly next to me here is the OptimusMagnum. Want to say thank you for stopping in the live stream this morning. Appreciate you guys. Keep in mind that on Mondays, we always post the Part of the Noob Show on YouTube, as well as out there wherever you download your podcasts. You can catch up later this week. Thank you if you're doing that and you're just watching this or listening to this later in the week. We do appreciate the support and the time spent with the show. Just as a reminder, we're live every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Good Game Report Twitch channel. So absolutely stop by in the future if you're seeing this later. Put it on your calendar. It's a great way to get your weekend started with some gaming news and start to kick off your Saturday morning. Optimus, how you doing, buddy? How was this week?
This week was great. I got some streaming in. I beat the Titanfall 2 campaign.
Ooh.
I slept in that game for too long. I have a Titan sitting right behind me, and I haven't even played that game yet. But I beat it. I played some Major League Baseball, the show, and Gotti, I have a love-hate relationship with Apex Legends. Arenas mode.
The self-proclaimed worst player of Apex has a love-hate relationship. What are you talking about? Tell me more.
I love it when we win and I do well, but the problem is I don't do well often enough. But I will say this. The game is highly addicting.
It is.
I cannot stop wanting to play it. And this is my question to everyone out there, including you, Gotti. What is it that makes this game so addicting that you want to pick it up even when you die so much? In my case, I am horrible at it, but I still want to play it and I don't care. Like, I don't care whatsoever.
I think you got to throw it into the BR category here, right? Because that's what it is, other than playing arenas. And for me, what that looks like, Optimus, is, I get tired of playing Warzone. I haven't played the big map in Warzone, the BR, in some time because it's just so slow moving. Everybody's camping around corners and blah, 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 right? Not to say you don't have campers in Apex 2 because it happens, right? I play Rebirth, Resurgence a little bit in a Warzone every week for the YouTube video, but other than that, I don't, because what I like about Apex, it's quick moving, right? You can get in there. It's a lot of fun to play. The mechanics and the movement of the players, picking up the different guns, that kind of stuff, learning to kind of do different stuff. It's a lot of fun to play with friends too. If you got somebody else in there with you, it makes a huge difference as far as that goes. And for that other game that Ninja used to stream, Fortnite, by the way, I hear he's kind of coming back around again. I could never build anyway, so I could shoot people, no problem. I'll put you down sights and pull the trigger, but the building was terrible. So I think Apex is just one of those games that it naturally draws you in. I think I saw a post on Twitter just this weekend, this morning or late last night, that said something about Apex. A nice break from Warzone. Except it's not a break for me. It's a full-time thing. I love playing Apex. So
there's
my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's been a fun game. I can't deny it. It's made by the guys that obviously made Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4. And those were, if you don't remember, if you're an old guy like me, that old Call of Duty player that is original COD player, those games were fast-paced, action-packed, and just amazing. Yes, there were campers, but you couldn't camp long because you're going to get blasted unless you're good at camping, because people were running around with shotguns, SPAS 12, running around with the SMGs. It was just a dope game. So, and they obviously transferred that, but into a more futuristic approach, but they did an amazing job with Apex because I'm addicted. And I'm not even good at it, but I'm addicted. And it's just a cool game, especially this arenas mode. This arenas mode has me heated at times. And you played with me. I get mad because I want to do well, but I'm waiting for the next chance to get him so I can get that guy. We had Bloodhound on Bloodhound Crime the other day. It was horrible. Yeah.
You did. I think your biggest gripe is the damage. You're like, why don't I have more damage? I've got kills. Where's my damage?
Because
there was some Bloodhound on Bloodhound Crime the other day. Was it Thursday? Actually, probably Friday morning. Actually, by that time. But on my stream, we played some Apex Legends, and there was Bloodhound on Bloodhound Crime. Tony was the victim of this crime.
I was.
So. think I took care of that guy the last couple rounds just so you wouldn't have to deal with him. And we
Yeah,
moved to other people and whatnot. But
yeah.
yeah, Arena is a great team way to look at it. I had a decent week too. Still busy at work, all that good stuff. But got the second COVID shot yesterday, so if it feels like I'm not myself today or I'm not my normal cheery self, I am faking it just for the record. I feel like a train just ran over me, but all the same, we're here for you. It's Saturday morning. It's the part of the Noob show. So
Yeah. Allow
let's
me
go
to
ahead.
be your hype man. I will be your hype man today.
You can be the hype man. I'm probably not going to have any hot takes about Scumpy today, or stuff like that. I probably won't bring that kind of energy today. I don't know. I might get on topic and something might come up. But other than that, it's been a good week.
Yeah.
Tony, you want to get us started off with some GGR updates because we got
Yeah,
a few to cover
let's
for
get
this
into
week.
the GGR updates. So Monday, every Monday, guys, tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because we have Geek Corner. All your retro gaming needs are there with Matt's Geek Corner and Peter Bite, our own lovely Peter Bite, the man that will not and refuses to take that shirt off. Peter Bite. But one day, there's always that one day. So tune in because you never know when the shirt might just be ripped off and we will all be bask in his gloriousness, you know? But anyways, this week they're playing Batman Returns, and it should be a great stream as always. You're always gonna get that knowledge dropped by Matt's Geek Corner. There's always that hope that Peter Bite can beat him. I think did Peter win last week?
2 weeks ago.
He's got a 2-game win streak, and I think that's making Matt kind of mad. It might be making Matt kind of mad. So let's see what happens this week with Batman Returns, guys. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on, of course, right here on the GGR channel, Twitch channel. So, be there or be square, as the boomers used to say. All right, guys. And also moving on, we have Raid Night. It's back. I don't know if you know it, but it's back. It's hosted by Myogenics and Tootle, my favorite name, Tootle McBooty. And they're going to be back. They're going to be raiding some people. We're going to show that GGR love and support as always. We want to make sure that we raid new streamers, bring on some new people, bring them to the GGR channel. Welcome them to our gaming network of awesomeness that we have here at the GGR, where we love, support, and just play games with one another and just talk, share pictures, share our life goals, share everything that we do together, and just have fun. That's what it's all about, guys. Gaming is about nothing but fun, and that's what we do here at GGR. So just make sure you show that love, support on Tuesday. It's only for a few minutes. They come, they talk, and they quickly raid somebody, and then we just show some love and everything and talk about GGR, and then we go on about our days. So be there.
Absolutely. Great little event we have. Glad that's back. Thanks to Malgenics and Toodles for bringing that back. That's a middle of the week staple on the Good Game Report. Period. Just going out there and be able to make somebody's day. Last week we rated Evil Jellyfish, and it was a great reaction. She's coming in, join the Discord. Evil, hopefully you're on the show this morning in the chat. If you're not, catch us wherever we're around. Absolutely. So a couple other updates for the GGR this week. Obviously, week 52 of the top 10 came out Thursday. So if you haven't checked out that, please do. And looking forward to week 53. It comes out every Thursday, right? 10 a.m. Eastern. Same time this show starts on Saturdays, but on Thursday. You can go out to the YouTube channel. You can check it out. Look out for week 53. We got some different music in there. Part of the feedback from the special edition we got from week 50, right? The number ones, the big smashing crazy one that I still think about from time to time because there were just so many good plays in it. Been tinkering around with the music because it was definitely well received that we had some different music in there, moving away from the Josie and the Sex Whales soundtrack we usually have going to it. So week 53, look for that. We're going to be experimenting with some new features. So I've told you about the music. There's something else, but you'll have to watch it to catch it. Another new feature of the top 10 coming out week 53. So make sure you check out that out coming this Thursday. And definitely check out week 52 if you haven't already. Definitely support the channel. Subscribe to the YouTube for Good Game Report if you haven't already. Obviously a fantastic place to be and a place to check out content, especially for these live shows later on. One more thing on the GGR updates. We got a very special stream coming up next Friday. A week from yesterday, right? So Friday, May 21st, there's going to be a 12-hour charity stream for the Wounded Warrior Project. That's going to be Tootle McBooty on it. We were talking about Tootle a second ago. The fun's going to start at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's going to go for 12 hours or more, depending on how it goes. And I'll explain more about that here in just a moment. He's got multiple games planned. Going to play Borderlands 2 with a speed run. Going to pull out some Valheim, Apex maybe, some Assassin's Creed Valhalla. He has some other ones lined up, just kind of based on the temperature of the day and the length of the stream itself. Some of the goals for the donations actually include Poodle's wife coming on stream and doing the one chip challenge right there on stream. So I haven't got to do that yet. I wish somebody could get that for me because I love hot stuff. But apparently she can handle it, or it's going to be a really good reaction if we get there to have her take it. So you might want to check that out. Obviously, it's pending donations to the Wounded Warrior Project through the stream, as that's going to be the main goal. Part of the rewards, if we get high up enough, also is Toodles is going to change his hair color. I don't think it's going to happen on stream. It'll probably see it on social media afterward. But get high enough, I think the person that breaks the $1,000 mark, if I'm remembering right, gets to choose his hair color. So, maybe I should wait in there or come back with a donation later in the stream for the 1K and then give him some crazy color of hair. We'll see, I guess. So like I said, the string length is planned for 12 hours from 7 to 7. However, individual donations of certain amounts, and you can check out total socials and whatnot. Individual donations of certain amounts will add time to the stream. So it'll go up to 23 hours in total. So we could force the man to be on live for almost 24 hours, depending on what donations are out there. And all of this is always for a great cause. This is something I donate to 2 or 3 times a year myself anyway. The Wounded Warrior Project. They really help our frontline guys that have been out there in combat come back, whether they're wounded physically, mentally, or whatnot. People that have died for our country, right? It's a great project. Know a lot of vets myself personally, and that's what kind of turned me on to this charity. This is one that I give to every year, multiple times, like I said. So if you want to be a part of that, if you just want to be part of a fun stream, check out Toodles on Friday. That's coming up this Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. Should be a great event. May 21st is the date on that once again. So love to see you out there, GGR. Even if it's just stopping in for a little bit, let's go show the support and give if you can for a great cause. All right, time for gaming news. Let's fast forward here. So speaking of the lovely Apex Legends that we talk about so much on this show because we love it so much on this show, or hate it depending on what match Tony's just been in.
Yep.
Sometimes he likes it, sometimes he don't. So here we go. So one thing that we've been talking about since season 9 came out, it's been a very hot topic, is the Bocek bow. Oh my goodness, just beaming it from all over the map.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Just seems like everybody became a sniper, with a rapid fire sniper at that, and they could just, whether it be arenas or it be in the BR, you're always hearing the whoo, 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 the whiz of arrows come by your head, whether you're near a fight or whatnot. It's happening, right? Well, the quickest weapon nerf in the history of Apex Legends happened this week. The Bocek bow has been nerfed. Not even but 1 week into its release, it's already been nerfed. So the meta it's probably still the meta. They didn't nerf it terribly, but they definitely put people at a disadvantage. So talk about here in a second. One other weapon that's been really hot too is the Spitfire. Everybody's like, oh, the Spitfire, it's cheating to use the Spitfire, blah, blah, blah. You're just shooting straight, blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, whatever, man. I use it. When I have boomer aim going and I need to get my mind straight on shooting straight toward targets, I pick up the Spitfire. That's what I do. It's a great way to bring me back in so I can start picking up a 99 volt and start beaming folks, right? The Spitfire actually had some reductions of power. So the details on that, the per bullet damage that gives out by the Spitfire went from a 19 to a 18, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're putting a few rounds in somebody, it starts to add up, right? Also, the purple and the gold mag, the magazine that holds the bullets in the gun, got kicked down from 55 to 50. So when you're somebody like me and you just got the trigger held down and you're shooting a spot, you're gonna have to reload faster. So that couple of things for the Spitfire. I don't think it's breaking like I'm not going to use it sort of thing, but it definitely takes a little bit of the meta away from it. What you want to hear about the Bocek bow? So this is a little more significant. So max charge for the body shot damage, right? When you hit in the torso, it decreased from 70 to 60. So they took 10 off of that right away. The charge time increased from I think it's 0.54 seconds to 0.56. So it's going to have to charge up a little longer, and you get less damage when you do so. That's going to give us boomers a little more time to move around and get maybe out of the aim of the next shot at least. Deadeye's Tempo, which is a perk or a bolt-on to it that you can pick up off the ground, the charge time increased from 0.32 to 0.38 seconds. So that also increased. The stack size also, when I'm talking about stack size, I'm talking about how much you're carrying in the gun, as well as the inventory slot, both decreased. The stack size went down from 16 to 14, and then in your backpack, you're going to need to use twice as many spaces to carry arrows. So if you're one of those rapid fire snipers with the Bocek bow, you can only carry 28 now instead of 48 in a slot. So hopefully that will deter some people from getting too crazy there.
I like to think of the Bocek. If you ever watched the movie 300 at the end when all the arrows came down on them, basically, it was that. It's the scene from that, basically, because that's how it was. 3 guys literally raining down arrows upon you, and it's just torture. They're nonstop. But now, at least with this, it's been less. And I barely. I mean, when we played the other day, I barely saw any Boceks being used. So it's obviously.
Just
it's
a couple.
Working.
I wasn't. I mean, I think people are still using it, but it's not as prevalent. It's not the meta right now anymore. I think people still use it, but I think they're having to use some of your resources and guns now too. So just fine, because that thing was beaming me that first week, and that was the only thing that I was really just like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Like I gotta find give me a shield that helps. Let me carry a shield like Assassin's Creed. I can put out in front of myself to deflect these arrows coming at me or something,
Exactly.
But that's our Apex update for the week. Pretty important one, since the Bocek has been neutered a little bit, might we say? Kind of brought back. Here's a fun one. Coming up, I believe this is on May 20th. They've been advertising, which is just 5 days from now. Call of Duty Warzone, we were talking about how boring of a game it was and how we like playing Apex more, right? Well, I think Warzone understands that more people are playing Apex, especially with Season 9 coming out. And they, as always, they want to throw money at the problem, try to get you in there to watch and play. Well, there is a couple things that'll probably bring me in. And number one is, guess what? They're bringing some classic movie characters into the game. So we know that Verdansk went back to 1984. The bomb went off and we all went backwards, right? Seems like Warzone wants to keep the 80s rolling. So they've been teasing on Twitter and other social medias the arrival of John Rambo on the official Call of Duty Twitter account. For example, Surviving John. If you guys know, if you watched the Twitter account at all, you can put your information in. You can tweet at the Twitter account, and it comes back with your Warzone stats, right? Well, they put one up there for Surviving John, right? He's played 5 games. He has 5 wins. He has an infinite amount of KD, or kill death ratio, with 552 kills in 7 hours played. Well, there's some fact finding that's been done out there. And you know how movies there's been of Rambo? 5. How many of it has he survived all the way through and killed everybody in? 5. Somebody actually went up and counted 552 deaths that Rambo was responsible for in those movies. And the total runtime for the movies is just a little over 7 hours. So that's where you get your 7 hours played. So make sure you look for that May 20th. One more character they're bringing in, and I like this one as well. And actually, I had a separate website as well. I'm going to read the name of that website. NakatomiDuctCleaning.com. Anybody remember the word Nakatomi and what movie that might have come from? Optimus, do you remember Nakatomi?
Of course. You want me to say it, or do you want to say it?
Yes, I do. What movie would that come from?
Die Hard, baby.
Absolutely. The original Die Hard.
Best Christmas
Nakatomi
movie ever.
Plaza is where our character John McClane, which is the second one, whereas his wife worked there, right? He ends up showing up to the building or whatnot. They have a Christmas party there. It's getting taken over by some terrorists. Obviously, John McClane spends some time in the air ducts of that building, hence the website teasing it, nakatomiduckcleaning.com. So one thing's for sure, they're definitely looking at bringing some spice into Warzone with a couple of characters we all identify with. Well, maybe we don't all. We do. As boomers, we definitely watch these movies in the past, but they're definitely trying to spice some things up. So I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. Some
I still
interesting
watch those
news.
movies. Die
I
Hard's in
love
my
watching Die Hard.
top
So
5 Christmas movies. I know people like to debate that, but it's a Christmas movie to me. That and Gremlins, Christmas
I was just
Story.
getting ready to say, I'm like, is that a Christmas movie or not?
Yep.
I think it is. I'm with you. I'm in the playing field of it's Christmas time. That's a Christmas movie. My wife is like, so what about it is what? How does it? I'm like, the setting, honey.
It
It's
takes place
snowing.
at
It's
Christmas.
it's wintertime. It's
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm definitely of that camp with you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yep. And so moving on for gaming news. Unfortunately, this is bad news. I hate this stuff.
Uh-oh.
But it's going to take a long time to still get your PS5 if you're in the market for one. I personally said I was going to wait from the beginning, but Sony CFO says PlayStation 5 will remain in short supply through 2022. And it's literally because of the pandemic that's going on. There's some it's Hiroki Toto. I'm sorry. I'm gonna butcher this name. This is horrible. Hiroki Totoki has notified financial analysts that PS5 retail shortages will continue through 2022. Many factors causing this are COVID, basically being the largest, pressing the continued semiconductor shortage being the main culprit. So there's a little part that they can't make because there's people not working or things happening going on due to COVID pandemic reasons, yada yada yada. So basically, you're gonna have a hard time finding a PS5 because they can't make them. They can't make them fast enough. So Sony's aiming at a $14.8 million or aiming at 14.8 million in PS5 for a second year sales. Scalpers and opportunity seekers are also making this difficult in terms of getting more units out to the public. So
Jerks.
It's those darn scalpers, those bots that you try to battle every time. They've been fighting them, and people, here and there have been able to get a PS5, but the problem is people are grabbing them. They're still trying to sell them for $900, $1,000, and you're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to wait it out, basically. So play your PS4. I mean, there's not many games out yet for the PS5 anyways. Play your PS4. I'm sure you'll be fine, but don't let the scalpers win. Make them eat that money, basically, and make them wait until the new PS5s come out. That's what I would do, personally. What would you do in this situation?
Yeah, I got
Would
a
you
PC,
pay?
so I don't care.
Oh, yeah. I have a
To be
PC
honest
too.
with you, I think it's unfortunate, right? Because this infects all consoles, not just the PS5. They're just the ones that came out and talked about this week. We have, the Nintendo Switch has also talked about like, hey, we're finding it really hard to keep up production of these models. I think Microsoft's not the only one that hasn't come out and verbally said something, but everybody that uses a semiconductor, when they're making processors for stuff, it affects everyone. So it's a stinky thing. Uncle COVID, punches us one more time. Seems like as we're just
keep
getting
punching us.
get past this, he just keeps
Yeah.
punching us and throws different combos at us like Rocky. And hopefully we'll make it through all these inconveniences. But in the meantime, I'll just keep playing my PC. Yeah, I would like to have both of those other consoles, but it makes it easier for me because now it's not even an option. I don't have to weigh the options of do I spend money on a console or not. So,
yep, I'll just wait it out.
Absolutely, same here. But the point is, they're still be coming out. They're just going to be very hard to get a hold of, like they are right now, right?
Yeah.
So they still will keep coming out. They just be at a lower pace than what we're used to, which is going to slow their sales down, of course, and what their projections are. And those are revised projections that Tony was going over there. So it's going to affect us, but just it won't completely shut it down either. As long as, hey, if we can get the scalpers out of the equation, get the jerks and the bots off the sites, I think a lot more people get their hands on one, right? I think that's something we can do technologically to get past the fact that there are shortages of semiconductors being produced. So, all right, moving forward in gaming news, EA's been teasing Battlefield 6 reveal for June. So, sometime next month, probably going to see a trailer for Battlefield 6. If you follow the series at all, you know they took this last year off. It's usually an annual title and did not come out. There was an official tweet from their Twitter account kind of hinting at a June reveal. I haven't played Battlefield a lot. I understand that a lot of people like this game, and it's very reputable to a Call of Duty and that kind of stuff as far as realism and the multiplayer options and that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to check this out when the trailer comes out because I'm genuinely interested. I guess Battlefield 5 was not very well received.
It was garbage.
Well, you hear to hear. Part of the
Yeah,
news
it
said
was
it's
garbage. It was
so.
not. It was not a good game, and that's why they took the year off because they're trying to make a better game. Battlefield 4 was awesome. Battlefield 1 was good. The kind of weird numbers I know, but that's kind of what they did. But they really messed up with Battlefield 5.
Well, developer DICE obviously heard the feedback. It's like Tone said, that they took a year off from making it because they're all in on 6. Earlier this year, they said that it would also take advantage of EA said it's going to take full advantage of these newer systems we're talking about too. So the Series X and the PS5, look to be able to utilize those because you're going to get a much higher FPS at the kind of look that you want, right? The processing speed, the loading speed of these new consoles are just insane compared to previous ones as we always continue to move forward. The GM of DICE, and this is another one of those names. Oh, it's Oscar Gabrielson. Also said they put together the biggest team in series history working on this game. So not only hear the feedback, they're going all in. All the chips are pushed to the middle of the table on this. They want to make sure that they don't have another stinky turd like number 5 come out and disappoint their fans of the game. They're all in on Battlefield 6. It's looking pretty likely this game will probably come out later this year. Gonna have some big changes from 5. Like I said, the chips are in. They're trying to do something different. And then breaking news just this week, late in the week, probably Thursday or Friday, it came out. EA has confirmed that the next Battlefield title, 6, will be cross-gen. So just in case you haven't got a hold of one of the new consoles, right, and you're unable to because of all these shortages we've just been talking about, right, it's going to be cross-gen. So they are going to release this title on previous consoles as well. It won't be exclusive to the new ones, which is great. Like to be able to still take advantage of that, because nothing would be like a kick in the rear end as if they only put it out on the newer consoles, and then you're like, but I can't get that.
Yeah.
From a game producing standpoint, that'd be pretty much suicide in my opinion. So good to hear that they've formally announced that as well. All right, time for Tony's favorite part of the show. Optimus,
Yes.
you love esports.
I
You
love
are
it so
the
much.
esports man.
Yes. It is my absolute favorite. Absolute. Even over retro.
All right. So if you hear the sarcasm in the air, it is thick. You can cut it with a knife, folks. It's not Optimus's favorite part of the show, but it's going to become his favorite part of the show soon. I'm going to keep wearing on him and working on him. And one of these days, I'm going to get him to watch the Call of Duty League, and he's going to be right here with us.
I'll pick a team.
Absolutely, just pick a team and you follow them, and you go from there. Maybe there's a lot of personalities in the league too. So just like any other sport, I mean, you've got personalities to follow. There's people out there. So from last weekend, we had some results coming into Major Number 3, which is currently underway. Last weekend, we had the New York Subliners 3-1 the LA Thieves. They've got Hook from Dallas. Look, I was watching some videos this week about Hook. It turns out, he kind of left Empire. He's been wanting out for a while, had some creative differences on how to attack the game, play the game. One of the best young ones out there. He's going to be a shining star. He's going to be another one of those Crim Sixes later on, a Scumpy later on. This guy's got it. And as he continues to play the game, obviously there's a lot of pressure on him to perform, but he's joined the LA Thieves. Well, they're still meshing over there because nothing's happened just yet. Sunday, oh my goodness. Atlanta FaZe gave a preview of what they're about and how they're going to end out the season. They wiped Optic Chicago 3-0. And you guys know that Optic Chicago is my team, right? Those are my guys. And they've been playing poorly. I thought they were to come in and compete. They usually come in and compete on the big games. It's kind of like my KU Jayhawks. We compete with the big teams, and we play somebody that's not, as good. We play down to the competition sort of thing. Atlanta FaZe didn't give them a chance. They swept them. They wiped them. It was bad. It was nasty. It was gnarly. Ouch. Like FaZe is ready, right? Dallas Empire looked good going in. They 3-1 the Rocker last Sunday. So here we come to Major 3. So first 2 days have happened. Day 1 was Thursday. A couple of things going on there. Atlanta FaZe slept the Dallas Empire 3-0. Those are the defending champs. They sent them down to the elimination bracket. They're like, nah, you don't belong up here, bro. You got to take a back seat and fight your way back up to us. 3-0'd them in a very convincing fashion. Florida Mutineers 3-1 the Thieves. So even with Hook in the lineup, still need some adjustments need to be made. They need a little of it's just playing together, right? They haven't been playing together as a team. They're going to get the comms down. They're going to need to step forward.
What's that guy's name again?
Hook. Huke. Hook.
Okay.
Is what it goes by. I've got some really strange names.
I remember this name.
But definitely a name. He's got curly hair. Young kid. He just snaps, man. He's good. He's very good. He's going to be very good for years to come. So Friday's action, Optic did wake up, and I always tease the LA Gorillas on what kind of a terrible team they are. Well, Optic beat up on one of the worst teams in the league 3-1. So, I mean, I'll take a win, but obviously saw a lot of things that they're going to need to do better if they want to compete. Absolutely insane match yesterday, late in the afternoon, early evening if you're out on the East Coast. FaZe and Toronto Ultra played yesterday in the winners bracket. And if you don't remember, Major number 2, second tournament we had, Toronto came out and beat FaZe in the Grand Championship. And took it to them. Nobody thought they were going to get that L, and Toronto took it to them. Toronto actually came out. They dug a little bit of a hole, came back, and they took this to 5 maps yesterday. FaZe turned it on and search and destroy in that map 5. Came back from being down, I believe it was 3-2, and came back and swept all the way back up to win that map 5. I believe it was 6-3. They just won like 4 or 5 consecutive rounds and said, no, Toronto, you might have got us in Major 2, but we're here and we're ready to play. Just for the record, the Atlanta FaZe are the superstars of the league, right? They are the all-star team. So if you think about the Miami Heat and LeBron James back, 10 years ago or so, not 1, not 2, not 3. Atlanta FaZe is set up to do just that. They're set up to sweep everything, win everything. They have an enormous amount of talent. The work they do together, their comms, it's all on point. I think they just get bored every once in a while and they kind of fall back, to be honest with you, and make some easy mistakes. So look for that matchup to come back to us, because Toronto did not go easily in the night. They were very competitive, and even though they don't have the amount of talent that Atlanta has, they work well together, and it's been showing. Obviously, they won Major number 2, so they're not to be taken lightly. Subliners swept the Mutineers yesterday as well, so the Subliners move into today. Watch out for New York. Everybody's all Toronto, Atlanta. They're all excited about Toronto and Atlanta, and another matchup maybe with Toronto coming out of the elimination bracket to meet on Sunday. And one thing I think a lot of people are sleeping on here, and Milky V5 also yesterday in the esports chat, the GGR Discord mentioned it. Don't sleep on New York. Everybody's kind of they're kind of flying in under the radar with a very strong team. Having Clayster on that team, having a guy that's won so many championships, was part of the Dallas Empire's championship team last year. Don't sweat the leadership that he provides for that team and the way that they can play, because you might come up on the wrong side of the coin. with all that attention going over to Toronto and Atlanta right now. So we got Saturday matchups. We're gonna pop those on the screen here. We got some feedback this week. As I get rambling about talking about this stuff, obviously I watch it, so it's front of mind for me. But we should be able to see on the screen. Got some matchups today, so this is where it starts. It starts at 1:30 Eastern. We're going to start off with the LA Thieves and London Royal Ravens in the elimination bracket. The winner of that match is going to play the Toronto Ultra. So hey, if you live through this match, guaranteed you're getting this great present. And that's good to play Toronto Ultra. Ultra messed up and ticked off, pun intended, after they lost to Atlanta FaZe. You do not want to be LA Thieves and London Royal Ravens right now. In fact, I would just flip a coin and say, all right, who wins and who doesn't? There's no sense in playing this game because the person that plays Toronto Ultra afterward, sorry, dude, you're gonna get 3-0'd. They're gonna put the stink down on you because Toronto is very upset about losing their match yesterday and want to get back to Atlanta FaZe. Second matchup that we'll see this afternoon starts at 3 Eastern with my Optic Chicago team taking on Dallas Empire. So we got a couple of heavyweights with a lot of lore in this one because there's a lot of players on both of these teams that have been in Call of Duty for some time. Winner's going to get the Florida Mutineers as far as that goes. So a little easier than playing Toronto, but again, Florida's a great team too. So Dallas and Chicago getting at it. The headliner today, the team everybody's sleeping on, New York Subliners and Atlanta FaZe playing at the last game tonight. So make sure you look for that at 7:30 Eastern. Go in there. There you go, Tone. Go root for the New York Subliners.
New York, stand up. Forget about it. Forget about it.
We got a Mets fan. We got somebody up there that lives in that part of the country.
I'm New York.
I'm picking your team, dude. You're Subliners all the way now. So 7:30 Eastern out there on YouTube. Check it out. The Call of Duty League channel. It's going to be a great matchup tonight. If you don't catch anything today, catch that 7:30 Eastern. It's going to be a banger. Either that or Atlanta FaZe is going to continue their dominance, one of the two. But I just really think people are sleeping on New York. I think they're going to give a run for their money. Obviously, tomorrow is the wrap up. The grand final is tomorrow. So what we'll see happen tomorrow is basically the winner of the FaZe Subliner matchup is going to face whoever comes out of the elimination bracket. So whoever survives is going to have to play Atlanta FaZe in New York tomorrow, which could be Atlanta FaZe again. Who knows? But basically, the elimination bracket's going to funnel into tomorrow, and we'll find out who plays. You know, there's a lot of talent out here. The season's getting a little older. This is major number 3. We got one more major after this. It's dialing up. It's getting to be feeling like playoffs time in the Call of Duty League. So make sure you do go out there and check that out. Also in esports, we got one more esports topic here, and it's near and dear to our hearts. And just about our good game report CSGO team.
Yeah,
want to start giving them some more love as season 37 has started. The guys are out here working hard. Won their second match of the season. So they were 1-1 as of last Sunday night. Beat the team 16-11. Played again Wednesday night. So Wednesday night pulled another win, 16-13 over the Lucky Chance team. And I guess they weren't so lucky going up against our guys because the Lucky Chance name really doesn't support what happened there. Just to kind of, you can see some stats there on the screen. We won at 16-13. Those are our guys down there. Zeller, Moog, Jobots, Alimo. Sopu filled in this week and did a great job of doing so. Look at the KD. Look at Zeller. 33-18 in the match. Zeller was freaking beaming. 33-18. That's a 1.83 KDR. Wow. I'm going to get used to more of these stats. We're actually in talks right now with some CSGO guys. We're thinking about putting these fellas up on the Good Game Report Twitch channel very soon in their matches and getting a caster or whatnot, a caster or two to go in there that knows CSGO to really go in here and share these guys and be part of the community. So please do support them. These guys are all on GGR. You're going to see them coming in a little more often into the Discord. They're just really focused. They've been working on this. Remember the CSGO league they play in, the ESEA league. They're kind of like in the minors right now. If you think about baseball, you think about AA, AAA, the majors. That's their dream, man. We've been talking about esports last week about how your kids can pay for college, that kind of stuff, and just the money that's out there for this sort of stuff. Man, I mean, they're living the dream right now. They're pushing hard. They're trying to move up. They're trying to win this division so they can go up to the next one and be competitive at the next level. We're their sponsor, Good Game Report. So let's make sure we give them lots of love. They're going to play tomorrow on Sunday. I haven't got the match time yet. We will post that in the GGR Discord. We'll put it in socials as soon as I know that time. So if any of you fellows are in the chat this morning, make sure you get that over to me. That way we can get a graphic made, get that promotion out for it, so everybody knows when to stop in to one of the streams tomorrow and watch you guys for match number 4 of the season. 2-1 right now, looking to make it 3-1 tomorrow. Really excited. I've been watching them, and these guys are good, man. These are no slouches. These guys are very good at planning out the map they're playing with. The comms are great, and then obviously the gunfire is the gunplay is great as well. Zeller just absolutely ripping up the map this last match. So shout out to the boys with the CSGO team.
Really. All right, let's get on to some of your favorite retro news.
I'm
yes,
clunky.
the retro corner.
Say?
All right. Now, this is something that you can't buy, but this is really cool. A retro gamer named Anthony John Clark. I don't know why they always include their middle names, but whatever. He has two first names, or 3 first names actually, Anthony, John, and Clark. But anyways, Anthony John Clark bought this broken old PlayStation 1 for like $1. It was like €1, which is like $1.20 US or whatever. Who cares? But it was $1, and it was all messed up. He cleaned it all up, and then he was like, "What am I going to put this in? And what can I use?" So the guy takes Legos and builds a PlayStation 1 out of Legos, and it's working and functioning. Took his disc, put it in. He still has to put a top on it. He hasn't made a top for it yet, but it's amazing. They showed it like him putting the disc in and it like actually working on the screen. It was just dope. If things that you can do when you put your mind to it, and they talk about Legos and they talk about things that you can do with Legos and stuff like that. But this guy literally built a working PS1 out of Legos, which I think is the coolest thing ever. They had the Nintendo Lego thing, but it isn't actually a functioning Nintendo. But now you could probably take a Nintendo, build a Nintendo with Legos, and actually probably make it work using the insides of the Nintendo parts. But there's going to be multiple times people are going to be doing this now in the future, I think.
Is it going to be left open? I'm wondering about cooling and all that plastic.
But that's the thing that I thought about. Like the first thing I thought about was how did he cool? And I read and I didn't see anything about a fan. So I was wondering maybe he probably had a fan in there, like because he used the actual PlayStation parts. But I mean, considering that a PlayStation 1 is actually in plastic, so maybe he put a heat shield on the bottom of it. I'm assuming some kind of heat shield because you got to have a heat shield in these
Probably
things.
did something, right?
Yeah, he did something, but whatever he did, it works perfectly, and he got a working PS1 that's a Lego machine, or that's a Lego, basically made out of Legos. So pretty cool, I thought. But moving on, there's another new device, and this also is not for sale, but it's from a guy that just basically likes to make things out of things, and he took a old Game Boy Advanced SP, basically took a Game Boy Advance SP case and made a Wii and a GameCube out of it. So you can play Wii games and GameCube games on it. They're all basically built in. There's no disc being put in or anything like that, but they're all basically running off an emulation system off of the little handheld. But it is amazing. He was playing Mario Kart on it, and he can still use it, like, because the Wii uses certain Wii remotes and joy and the nunchucks and everything like that, and then GameCube obviously uses a controller, so you managed to be able to put both on, and you still use the joysticks to glide and drift with Mario Kart. It is so cool. The things that this just makes me think, with retro gaming, there's so many things out there that people can build. There's so many cool things that people can do. And there's so much with emulations and with like Legos and all these things that people think of to do to keep retro gaming alive. And
Mhm.
it just it has a special place in my heart right here because I just love to see this, that people go out of their way to keep retro alive and to keep these games playing and to do whatever they can to make it even more fun to play retro games.
You love to see it.
You'd love to see it.
I couldn't help it. You said it, and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
very cool. And a lot of creative folks out there. You guys know me. I'm a left brain person. Process, repetition, those sort of things. Those are all things that come naturally to me. Being creative is not. So we definitely got some people out with swelling right sides of their head with some
Yeah, yeah.
technical knowledge as well, putting some cool things together. All right.
Yeah, they do. It's really amazing the stuff that I've seen people do. It's pretty cool. I just wish it was for sale. That's what I wish.
Right.
Stuff
We can
like
put
that.
our
Like
hands on
I
it and
want to
do it
buy it. I want
ourselves,
to get
right?
my hands. I want to play with it, you know?
Absolutely. Or at least put a guide together on how you can make your own, maybe. Something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Get a hold of the parts. All right, it's time for some tech talk. We're going to talk wireless headsets. So,
Mm.
Harris Heller put out a very interesting video this week rating several different wireless headsets. I used a wired headset forever. I really love my Astro A50s. Tone, I know you still use those.
Yep.
They just,
hmm
the sound is just so good. It's so powerful. I mean, you're going to hear, the byproduct is you're going to hear footsteps from like halfway across the map. But so good, right? The thing with wired headphones is you've always got a cord dangling, right? There's always, and then I always had that cord dangling down his shoulder, like over to the mix amp and all that stuff. And I just got tired of it. So I ended up getting into the wireless headset earlier this year. Harris has put something together here with he and Lemonade put something together rating quite a few wireless headsets. So if you're in the market for a wireless headset, definitely have some information to share here with you today based off that video. Kind of took some notes from the video. Obviously, you can go out there to Alpha Gaming and watch the video yourself also and see some of those graphics and whatnot. But ton of great wireless headsets out there, right? Varies in price from $79 all the way up to $329. So I'm going to kind of step through the ones they reviewed and some of the ratings on audio quality and that kind of stuff. And just remember, you get what you pay for sometimes, and you get really good bargains sometimes too. The first one we're starting off with here is the Corsair Void Wireless, which is actually a very good bargain. I know several of our GGR community members use it. It's only $79. They gave it out of a 6 out of 10 on the audio scale, but it's actually pretty good. I think the highest rating they gave here was an 8 out of 10 on one of these headsets. Two headsets earned that. So to get a 6 out of 10 for $79 is great. They said they had really lows, performed really well with the lows. So the Corsair Void Wireless is something out there. He did jokingly said put out a cheaper headset of an off-brand MPOW, MPOW, which actually I have
I
some
know that name.
wireless like earbuds that I bought
Yeah.
for my wife because she walks every morning before she starts her shift at work at a school, walks around the track or whatnot, and wants to listen to podcasts and listen to music. So I bought those for her, and it worked out well for her. Not quite the same with this gaming headset that's wireless for them though. They said it was felt comfortable to wear. Runs $80. Audio had a lot of inconsistency with it, and this hurts. Impow, this hurts. It was a 2 out of 10, but that's not even the part that hurts. The part that hurts is Lemonade call this a Happy Meal toy. So steer clear of the Impow wireless gaming headset. It is not for
Yeah.
you. Much better value out of the Corsair Voids for $1 cheaper. The next one up, they had the HyperX Cloud Flight. Needed some tuning out of the box, but they were able to get it to a 7 out of 10. And that comes in at $114. Now we start spending some serious money. Now we're going for $1.50 on the next one. $149 for the JBL Quantum 600. Not really good reviews here. JBL being an audio company, and you think you get a better headset out of the deal. Big disappointment. They refer to this as a vice grip on your head, like literally so tight that it's like pinching your head off your shoulders, kind of a deal. more for music, not for gaming, is what they said. You know, if you're wanting to gaming, the microphone on this one was to say it was sus would probably be a little understated. They give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, got a Razer product. First Razer product on here, the Razer Black Shark Pro. So everything was pretty average, nothing too crazy great, nothing too crazy bad. A solid headset. Solid headset for $159 though. I mean, I'm thinking the Corsair Voids are still probably a better bang for your buck here because they gave it a 7 out of 10. That's it. You're getting out of $159. It's a lot of money. Our streamer friend Shroud has been pumping the Logitech line here recently. The Logitech G Pros coming at $189. Very good crisp overall sound, they said, with these. The lows were very clear. They did say the microphone is booty though. For all this great sound, the microphone is trash. So that's one thing to think about. I think a lot of people are using, like a microphone anyway, like this to speak of, and maybe not with the actual gaming headset itself. So if that's the case, then you're probably in pretty good shape with these. They do run $189 though. This was given an 8 out of 10 rating, which is tied for the best rating audio quality wise out of all these headsets. The next one up is the Astro A50s. They run $299. They're not cheap. Give them a 7 out of 10. These were voted the most comfortable headset. These are actually what I use. Where are they at? I set them down somewhere. Here they are. So have you ever seen some Astro A50s? They're just basically like 40s, right? Except they got no wire. So this is what I use when I stream right now, and I can tell you they are very comfortable, and that's a big deal to me. While I don't stream big hours, it's only 3 or 4. Tone's showing off the A40s there. Very comfortable. They do a very good job of trapping the sound in, just in my experience. And lots of ins and outputs, right? You get the base station with the A50s, the A40 wireless gives you lots of in and out options. So they also rated these based off of what their capabilities are. And these next two got very high ratings there because they do. I mean, the Astro A50s and the next set we'll talk about are the ones you can use with the Go XLR seamlessly just by plugging it in. So overall sound was good with this one. They did give the Astros a 7 out of 10. I respectfully disagree, but and I'll tell you more about that in a second because I've owned both of these last two headsets. At $329, the cash cow, the piece de resistance, the most expensive headset is the SteelSeries Arctic Pro Wireless. Best sound out of all. They loved it. 8 out of 10. One thing that I really like about this, and they did too, is it has a hot swappable battery. So the base station that this has comes with 2 batteries. One's in the headset that you can kind of take out of the side and easily replace it. Think about an old cell phone battery, like size of that, like maybe in a Nokia, where you could pull the battery out and replace it. Remember those times when cell phone batteries could actually come out? Today, that doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually that they have a swappable battery. I like that.
You got one in, and then you got one in the base station charging. So if you went dead, it's as easy as reaching over here, grabbing it, swapping it out real quick, putting the other one back on the charger.
It's a very good idea.
Which is like, that's my favorite thing about the SteelSeries headset. They do like it. I've tried them both. So here's my take. Obviously, they like the SteelSeries the most. If you got a larger head, my fitted hat size is 7 7/8, right?
Yeah.
I'll have a small noggin. These SteelSeries, remember when we talked about the ones earlier, the Jbl Quantum 600s, they felt like it was a vice grip on their head. These SteelSeries felt like that to me after an hour. They were pretty comfortable. They have an elastic strap that comes over the top. You can just kind of size it out. I had it maxed out. After an hour, I started getting a headache from wearing these things. So I think if you don't have a large head like me, if you're not going 7 7/8, 8 size on a fitted headset, fitted hat, I think these are probably the best pick for you. Obviously, it costs a pretty penny. But for me, I love my Astros because they're so comfortable and they do accommodate a much larger noggin. So that's obviously my pick. I got the SteelSeries first, going a different direction because I had A40s. I know I'm gonna like the A50s, but I'm like, hey, let me try something else out. Took an hour to decide. No, I'm not down with this. One also thing that shocked me too is the SteelSeries. The sound output is not as loud as the Astros. It is not. I'd say it's. I played with all the software and the controls on it. Tried to get it to beef up. It is very good at mids and highs. The lows are non-existent to me in a SteelSeries, and the overall sound just didn't carry either. The Astros are so much louder. So between that and pinching my head off, with the SteelSeries, I send it back. I sent
Yeah.
it back and got the Astros and couldn't be happier. Obviously, there's a lot of different choices here, but if you want to watch that for yourself, go to Alpha Gaming. Watch Harris Heller and Lemonade's review of these headsets. It's a great watch. It takes about 9 or 10 minutes for them to go through those, but you kind of know what you're looking for now. Nothing replaces the wireless headset and be able to get up and move around the room too. I just love the ability to do that. Like if I need to go grab something from behind me, like I'm grabbing a game off the shelf here because somebody's talking about it in the stream or something like that, I just stand up and go over there. I don't even take the headset off. If I go in the other room or something, I just leave them on. So pretty cool stuff. And that's all I got on the wireless headsets today.
Yeah, I have the SteelSeries and Astros. Ironically, I have the wired versions of both.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. Astros sound way better. SteelSeries are kind of comfortable, but they also squeeze my head. Not to a point like you say, but they squeeze my head they make my head like I feel hot. I get hot and like sweaty-ish, and so I feel like I'm nauseous from that. When I'm playing like a first-person shooter, I get like, you're getting into the match, like Apex arenas, and they make me just feel hot. So I don't like them. So I actually put them. I use them only when I'm like gaming or something like that, or whatever on a like not something that's so high intensity. But the Astros by far are in my opinion the best. But
so
I've
Astro, if
never
you're
used some
listening
of
out
these
there,
other ones.
part of the Noobs supports Astro. So
Oh,
if you want to send us
I
some
always
products,
will.
we're linked in here. Go ahead and feel free to send us additional Astro products because we will continue to tout your line because we actually enjoy the products. So
I find it funny they didn't have Turtle Beach in there.
yeah, I'm surprised they didn't review
Like
it.
I've always said Turtle Beach. Some people have used them, but I found them to be a cheap headset. They always break. And every time I've seen
Right.
one, or I used to work at Best Buy years ago, and every time somebody would come in and they'd complain about their Turtle Beach just breaking, or a wire being short, or the actual case being cracked on the Turtle Beach headset, and I would tell them every time, go buy the Astros. It'd be the best money you spent. They'll last you forever. Astros got great customer support. So
Yeah, I
that's
think
my
Impal
plug for Astro, but
Impal was the joke in here. I think Turtle Beach was could have been an also Joker one, but
yeah, the
they
sound is
decided not
great
to
on
put
Turtle
two
Beach
jokes in
when they
there, just
last.
squeeze the one.
Yeah, the sound for Turtle Beach is great. It's just
Yeah.
that their longevity. If you have to basically take care of them like a little infant child and rock them and put them down gently, or else they'll break.
They're there. You take a rest right
Yep,
here.
yep.
Let's
It's
plug
gonna
you
be
into the
okay,
charger.
Turtle Beach. Do you need your pacifier? Okay, that kind of thing.
They're there.
But
They're
yeah.
there.
All right. In other tech talk, there is a new Steam compatible handheld. Now, this is exciting for you PC players out there that want to take your Steam titles on the go. You have this handheld. The only problem is it's a lot of money. And I'll get into that in a second, but the One X player, it's a Steam compatible handheld. It was announced and it's on an Indiegogo site basically. And it's really hard to explain because Indiegogo is like one of those kind of like startups like Kickstarter basically. So they take donations before you actually get the product. So right now I think they're up to like maybe 2 million on this device, close to it around there, but you can play. It has a 8.4-inch screen, fully HD IPS display with a resolution of 2560 by 1600. That's obviously above HD and that's just amazing. And they have a Tiger Lake i7. It's repping Windows 10, and it can play games like Gears 5 at a whopping like 130 frames per second on a handheld device.
Oh.
That is just dope. And one of the most impressive features on it is it has an integrated fingerprint scanner. So that way, when you make sure you lock your device, somebody can't steal it, steal your Steam stuff, well, obviously they'll have your device, but they won't be able to use it, at least from that perspective. But it also has compatibility for a flip up keyboard, giving you the option to trash talk people and things like that. And type it in the chat or whatever. But it can play titles such as Tekken 7, The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 3, and other massive titles. Now this is where we get to the crazy part. The price for this thing is basically like you're buying a gaming PC. It's $819 for one of them, and for the other one, $999. Now the higher end models are actually sold out. People actually bought the higher ends. These are the lower end models, and those ones are $819 and $999. But they still game amazing. They'll still have, I think one was a 512 megabyte or gigabyte, and the other one was a 1 terabyte model. But these are SSDs in there. They're not like a regular hard drive. They're SSDs inside there. So amazing product. You want to if you're into something like that, handheld gaming, you want to play PC games on the go. Let's say you live in a New York City like I used to, and you want, you're taking those long subway train rides to work like I used to. I used to game on my handhelds all the time, PSP, all the time. I was always on the train playing Hot Shots Golf on my PSP because I had like an hour and a half commute to work, so I had time to kill.
Yeah,
so if you're one of those type of people, you might want to look into that, because then you don't have to wait to get home to game on your PC. You can game on Steam games right there in your hand.
You have to root for the Dogecoin to take the skyrocket.
Yes,
to be
to
able
the
to
moon.
afford one of these. For sure.
Unless you're Myogenics, who apparently hates Dogecoin or hates cryptocurrency.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Myogenics. Just went over 20,000 followers.
Let's go, Miles.
On TikTok. The Talk Father was here last week on the show, and congrats to Myogenics for that. That's special. I'm sorry, I'm kind of interrupting here, and this is not playing in the show, but the other night he's streaming, and he keeps the talk running up on his phone there as well. He gets into playing a song. Before you know it, he's playing like a 40-minute set of songs. Has 600 live viewers on TikTok while he's doing this. I think he got he said, they were just piling into his Twitch account, following and that kind of stuff. He got like 1,000 followers that night, and he's over 20K now. So I think the goal for this month was to get to 20K. Maybe we shoot for 25. What do you say, Miles? If you haven't checked out Miles's TikTok, do that, because a lot of creative, great content on there from Myogenics. So
Miles is awesome. All right, let's go into game deals. There's always game deals, guys. Always check out your game deals. This week for PlayStation Store, there's the PlayStation Store Golden Week. Then they also had the hot deals. They also had the deal of the week and things like that. But for PlayStation Golden Week, they have up to 80% off of games. Go check out what games, because I was trying to run through them all, and there's so many of them that it's hard to even tell you all the good ones, because there's so many good ones that were on sale. Hot deals also is going on. That goes into May 12th, which I think is already passed now. So too bad you missed that. But deal of the week, though, right now is Immortals Phoenix Rising, and that's $29.99 for the regular version. And then there's $49.99 for the gold edition. And if you haven't played that, it's a pretty cool game. I was checking it out because I was like interested in seeing what it was, since it was so cheap. But I had to collect physical, so I'm one of those people that would probably get it on physical, not digital. But if you're a digital type of person, you don't care about collecting like I do, check it out. It's the deal of the week on the PlayStation Store. I don't know if you play. I don't think you play PlayStation, do you? You have Xbox, don't you?
Yeah, I saw that. I was so excited a couple weeks ago when you said that Death Stranding was on sale, and I went out and bought it that morning before the show even started. So I'm a digital guy now. I used to have a lot of physical copies. Obviously, I don't have a retro collection, so it's not as important to me. But to be able to get the game and play it at that price is great.
Yeah. And moving on, the Xbox game specials this week. Now, that was another good thing with Xbox, is there's so many different game specials. There's Xbox games with gold. Look, if you have Xbox Ultimate, basically, you buy Game Pass or Xbox Live Gold, you're Xbox Live Gold member, you get all these special deals, like percentages off of stuff. But then there's also regular Xbox game specials. And for the regular Xbox game specials, they had like up to 75% off sale. So lots of different games. Go check it out if you own an Xbox. If you're like an ultralight who owns an Xbox, obviously, go check out the deals. And ultralight likes to buy a lot of those digital titles. A lot of times you'll see him streaming, and he'll like scroll through his whole list of like digital titles. And it's crazy the amount of games that he owns, that he has purchased over the years through Xbox. But like, you can always get a good deal, and you can always go back and play them and just have some fun. You don't have to play them immediately. Just buy them now while they're 70% off. Go back to them later. So you're not paying that whopping $59.99, $49.99 price later on. But also, moving on, the Switch deals right now are up to 90% off. I actually saw games 90% off. They were like $1 and
Really?
like some change from being like, I don't know, $14 or something like that. But two notable games, and if you like now Switch is really cool because Switch has a lot of different variety of games. Like you can get a lot of platformers, you get a lot of indie games on the Switch, and
Right.
and especially a ton of indie games. And some of these game creators are amazing. And one of the games I actually saw that were notable for $14.99, you can get Cloudpunk. Cloudpunk takes place in the cyberpunk universe, that kind of deal. So it's like it kind of like it looks like a 8-bit kind of game, but it's not like a 16-bit style of game, but it's not. It's in a 3D setting and it's so cool. You're basically a driver and you get to take on all these missions of driving people around to different places. You're like a cab driver
Mm-hmm.
and you get to upgrade your cab. You get to go through all these things. You get to make choices with the people that you drive, depending on what you want to do, and it affects their lives later. So it also kind of like a Telltale game where you're playing. I played this game on stream once. It was amazing, like an RPG style kind of game, but you're making decisions based to see what would happen later on in the game. So I don't want to give it away because I obviously played it and beat it, but there's all these different kind of endings that you can have based on the decisions you make. And another notable game was 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. I know it sounds funny, but it's a beat 'em up game. You're basically like a Shaolin samurai, basically, or something like that. And it's just cool fighting combos and moves. I know Ultralight probably get excited when he hears that, but cool beat 'em up game if you're into those beat 'em ups where you're just basically fighting your way through everything until you get to the end. Cool game, and that's only $17.99. So cool Switch deals for the week.
Absolutely. Tony, what you got going on this week, man? What can we expect out of your content this week? You gonna be streaming at all? You gonna be putting any YouTube videos out or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming. I'll be streaming. I'll stream some more MLB The Show. I'm loving that.
Yes.
I'm gonna probably play some Titanfall multiplayer, Titanfall 2. I'm really into the intensity. We'll see if I can handle it because it's so fast paced
It is.
that I don't know if my eyes can keep up with it. I might get dizzy because I actually got dizzy on stream finishing the campaign. So we'll see what happens. But I'll also be playing some retro games this week. I gotta get some retro in this week. So whether it be NES or Sega Genesis, it's gonna be something I gotta play.
You got a long list of games to play this year, so
I do.
yeah, got to keep moving on it. Here it is. It's May 15th, and you've got easily over 100 games that you want to play this year. So
Yeah, it's by far the list. The list is ever never ending.
it is absolutely. When you got that many games, you got to, right? So
Exactly.
make sure you share those with us, and make sure you share us what you think as you play through those games too, because we want to know about that.
Yeah.
For me this week, normal Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Sunday's up in the air, I'd say right now. I felt like I get ran over by a freaking 18-wheeler. So we'll see what Sunday night. We'll see how I feel Sunday night. Yeah, possible maybe a no on Sunday night. Maybe switch Apex into Thursday instead. But we'll find that out. Of course, you can find me giocaripersempre.com, gamingforever.com, basically in Italian. Be sure to stop in there. You can always see what's up to date as far as my streaming schedule and YouTube videos and that kind of stuff. And just throwing it out, man. I've been at 485, 486 subscribers on YouTube for a while. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, please do it. Go out there. I don't care. Watch a short video. I got short ones. I got long ones. Watch one, like, comment, and subscribe to that sucker. We're trying to get to 500. That's where I want to get to by the end of May. We've been pushing real hard. So I appreciate your support there. You guys are all great. Lastly, want to thank the producers behind the streams, this stream, and a couple different streams doing all the button pushing, right? Optimus and I just had to sit here and talk to you guys, right? Go over our notes, have a conversation. And the producer does great work, puts us in a position to be successful here. Just flipping through the scenes, everything else that goes on. So always want to give a shout out to the producer. Thanks so much for all you do. We really appreciate it. If you are watching this later in the week on YouTube or listening to it in a podcast form, wherever you download your podcast, thank you so much for downloading or logging in and watching. liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Continue to give us feedback as well. Get the part of the Noobs channel in the Discord, as well as the YouTube videos, and commonly ask for that. Give us feedback. There's something on here you want to see, let us know. Definitely put us in a position to where we can, we want to cater to you too, right? You're the viewers, you're the listeners. We want to make sure we're covering what you want us to cover also. So don't be afraid to give us feedback, whether it's good or not. Got some feedback from some folks in another gaming community this week that do watch it on YouTube and just really enjoy the back and forth and whatnot, and really enjoy the show. So please tell us if you do like it. Please don't be candid with us. If you see something that you think we should change or you don't like, DM Optimus, DM me, let me know. Let's go. We want to improve. We want to take that feedback and make this the best show possible for you guys, because you are the viewer and then the reason why we're here. So it's time to raid. We're going to be ratting Matt's Geek Corner this morning. He's doing his first ever subathon. So he's going to be playing some different games. He's got Overcooked, Castlevania, Time Splitters 2, Max Payne, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, SSX3. He's going to eat a warhead for every sub that he gets today. He's got 500 followers, kind of doing a subathon celebration. My guess is he doesn't like the sour taste of a warhead. I do, by the way. I love them. But for every sub, he's going to eat another one. So maybe I go make him eat 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. Maybe we do something like
we'll have to do that.
But Matt's Geek Corner, we're going to go check him out. We're going to go rate him. Please show all the GGR love in the world to them. Make sure you give them a follow if you haven't. Let's put a lot of hype in the chat. It's been great. This is episode 5 already, closing for Pardon the Noobs. Optimus and I say big hearty thank you to every one of you that come in here and enjoy this time with us. We really appreciate you. And let's go show Matt and Geek some love. See you, everybody.
See ya.